On the progress at the site of the old Crossroads Mall.
During a city council hearing, Lockwood Development announced that they have demolished the entire site except a small part next to Target. Crews are currently working to add 2 turn lanes from eastbound Dodge into the project. Parts of Dodge and Cass Streets will also be widened for the project.
The group went before the city council to address a portion of the redevelopment agreement. They are set to start paving public streets within the project in May, with paving wrapping up in August. Construction of buildings is slated to start next year.